Okay. So in any case, somewhere along the way up after 6.5 hours. So we're back now. Drive to the just a second. It is getting a little more wind. Alright, let's see what Ocean. And it is looking stormy out there, that's for sure. Like they closed the state beach, which is understandable. At least it's the entrance to the state beach. Let's see if we make it right briefly. Let's check this out. Alright, let's go PCH this way just a little bit. Pacific Coast Highway, Pacific Palisades. Go up a little farther, we'll be in Malibu. But I don't think I want to go that far. I want to make my way south now. And those of you guys tuning back in, sorry about the footage there. So for some reason the GoPro just decided, oh, that's all I want to do for now. So I had to restart the stream. just a minute, take a quick little breather while just driving. So we are at Will Rogers State Beach. We're basically on the border of Malibu and Pacific Palisades. Kind of get a little view of the ocean out there. It's a little choppy, but nothing crazy, I guess. I don't think I go scuba diving in that, but it's not too terrible. So we're gonna make our way down PCH. We're gonna go Santa Monica, Venice. And I'm kind of curious to see some planes land at LAX. Let's go do a little plane spot in there. And once we get to LAX, we'll decide, hey, where do we want to go from there? Long Beach, or maybe I'll just take a drive through South Central before we end it today. So let's go. So here we are, Hurricane Hilary. This was the mass hysteria storm that the media told us all about to be scared of, and here it is. This is what's left of Hurricane Hilary. A little bit of rain, a little breeze. That's about it. Those of you guys that found the new live stream, sorry about that. My ridiculously overpriced GoPro Hero 11 decided that's all I want to do. 6.5 hours is all you get, and it just cut out on me, so had to restart the stream, unfortunately. I don't know who made that rule, but the camera's definitely cool. I've got it 60 degrees in the car with the air blowing right on it, so there's no reason should have stopped, but that's okay. So currently we're at Pacific Palisades, driving down Pacific Coast Highway, PCH as we call it, and we're going to take this all the way down towards LAX. So for now we're going to drive this through the rest of Pacific Palisades. Malibu's behind us now. We're going to go to Santa Monica, drive through Venice, and see what we see. Part of the reason I decided to do this today, this little live stream on my Sunday off, is well, I wanted to see if the media was going to be correct. They really, really hyped this up, didn't they? I mean, this was national news. This was international news. Hurricane Hilary coming to Los Angeles, first tropical storm warning in 85 years. Landslide, mudslides, floods, tornadoes. I mean, this was going to be an apocalyptic nightmare. All the government agencies were doing news conferences. Governor Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency. I got multiple phone calls, multiple text messages, little Amber Alerts on my phone, emails saying how to prepare, and the electric company says we might have to shut off the power because this is going to be crazy. And this is what we got. We got a little rainstorm, and basically an average day in Ireland. So here we are, driving by Will Rogers State Beach on PCH. Lifeguard's still on duty though. Looks like they've closed a lot of the beaches. At least they've closed the state beach. But looking down the beach, it looks like there are some people on the beach. So maybe they didn't close all the beaches, but they've closed the state beach that we're driving by right now, that's for sure. That's fair, Dave. That's definitely fair, yes. We usually don't get rain in August in LA. So yeah, it rained, but that's all that happened is it rained. It's, I still stand by the fact that it's not the monster that it was hyped up to be. And honestly, I think, it's every catastrophe or every little issue, the media's going to hype it up because, what do they want in the end? They want eyeballs to watch their program so that way they can watch the ad revenue so they can make more money. It's all about making money. Got to follow the dollar in the end, and that's kind of what's going on here. And as for the government agencies, I think after what happened in Maui, they're just really overly cautious. They don't want to be the next Maui government. Well, he can't pull over as a car next to me. But he's not letting me in. Okay. But, so, no, actually, yeah. Pretty, very get rain. It's up in the high desert, low deserts, but not a lot of rain. So, yeah, I get it. It's cool. It rained in August, It's not the first time it's happened, but it is a fairly rare event. But the way they were hyping it up with, winds at 70 miles an hour, I mean, if you look at the trees on the video here, they're barely swaying. A lot of rain, but it's not a torrential downpour. It's, it's like a regular light rainstorm. Now, I haven't been watching the news this entire time, but I haven't heard any reports of mudslides or anything crazy like that. I still think it was just really overhyped. And the problem with overhyping things over and over again like that is eventually people are gonna be in the boy who cried wolf situation, I guess, for lack of better words. The government's, when there's an actual emergency or catastrophe or situation, people are going to be less inclined to believe it. I mean, a lot of the government agencies here really told us to stay home, batten down the hatches, prepare for this situation, and nobody listened. I didn't listen. I came right out and started recording because I wanted to record the first tropical storm warning in 85 years. And everybody else is out doing their business, people on the beach right now. The last live stream I did before the dumb GoPro cut out, it was, you know, it was just like a regular, almost like a regular Sunday. Everybody's out still walking around, umbrellas. I mean, so we need the rain, but all I'm saying is it wasn't what it was chalked up to be. Now, I don't know if there's still more to come, or if this is it. Because if it's just, you know, moderate rain like this, then that's cool. And don't get me wrong, I know I sound like I'm disappointed, but I don't want mudslides and people's homes to be destroyed or lives to be lost or anything crazy like that. It's just, I'm mostly just pointing blame at the media and government agencies. I think the first government agency to come out and do a press conference like this was going to be a national emergency was San Diego, and as soon as they did, everybody else just kind of fell in line like dominoes and started doing their own press conferences. I got a bunch of alerts, and every fire station has free sand for sandbags, and I mean, it's a lot of rain by SoCal standards, but nothing we haven't seen before and nothing we can't handle based on this. Yes, actually, Stephanie, I don't know if you were on when, I remember your name earlier, for sure your name, because you were commenting a lot of stuff. In the previous live stream before it cut out, for whatever reason, yes, I got the alerts right on the phone during the live stream and about the earthquake up in Ventura County. I was pulling up at a MacArthur Park at that point when I pulled up to a stoplight, and we're waiting there, and I don't know if I was imagining things. I don't think I was. I felt the car move very slightly left and right, and as soon as I, you know, it perked up my interest, like what's going on? Is the wind picking up, moving the car, or somebody pushing my car? Immediately my phone just went off, you know, the Amber Alert sound, and I've never seen an alert like that. U.S. Geological Survey, you know, earthquake imminent, you know, stop, drop, and roll. And I'm looking around the building, like, oh God, is this going to be like the big one? Is it here? Are these buildings going to come down on me? And you know, no, it was just a little sway of the car. And I looked around, everybody else like, you guys still in this? And some people were looking around. Most people were still walking, like they didn't see it or feel it. So yeah, I definitely felt something. That was up in, what is it, Ojai Mesa? Somewhere up north near Santa Barbara is where the epicenter was. And last I heard is either 5.5 or 6. So we definitely felt it down here in LA. But that was kind of interesting. Yeah, everybody's fine. No, the alerts came through, but I didn't see anybody care. So we're in Venice now. To my right is the skate park and basketball courts, the boardwalk, and Muscle Beach is up ahead to the right as well. They didn't feel it in Bakersfield, huh? Well, let's see if we can get a little closer to the ocean. Because we are technically in Venice Beach now. Well, it's yeah, Stephanie, it's Sunday, and I don't know, didn't have a whole lot to do today, so finished all my work, finished all my homework. So I figured, what the hey, the storm of the century, first tropical storm warning in 85 years. I gotta check this out. And the media made such a big deal about it. I'm sure there was other people, you know, around the country and around the world that were going to be interested in this. I know I was interested in it, but honestly, it really just turned out to be a big rainstorm. It wasn't really moderate rain for the most part. Sprinkles sometimes. Occasionally you get some pretty heavy rain, but it comes in patches. For the most part, yeah, it's just this. It's like a, you know, it's like a day in Ireland, as I keep saying. Let's see if we can get a little closer to the beach. Even right now, you got people walking down to the beach. These guys are heading on down to the beach for a walk in the rain. Right here. So here's Venice. As you can see, it's pretty empty, but there's still I mean, it's not as busy as you're gonna get on a Sunday for sure. This is pretty darn empty, but there's still quite a few tourists walking around on the beach. So that's Venice. That's that little park area, grass. That's where they got the basketball courts, the skate park. Muscle Beach is right over here to the right. It's all here in the rain. And unfortunately, we can't really get closer. Can't drive down the boardwalk. So I can't really show you the ocean from this vantage point behind all the buildings, but trust me, it's right there. A good channel to watch, I don't know the guy personally, but I watch a lot of his content, is German in Venice. So a guy from Germany came out here to Venice, you know, a decade or two ago, and he does a lot of like citizen journalism almost. Shows you a lot of the spots where movies were filmed or different things, and he reports about a lot of what's going on down here with the homeless situation, stuff like that. So as you can see, this is where parking normally is. The city clearly does not want people to park here and come to the beach. It looks like they've essentially closed the beach, even though people are still going out and parking other places and coming in. But I guess they're trying not to encourage people to come to the beach right now. I mean, I get, don't let people go swimming in this crazy situation, but I don't see why you can't come park, and if you want to go walk in the boardwalk in the rain or something like that, I don't see why not. So I don't know this guy. I guess maybe he works the parking lot or something. But you see, you got tourists. The businesses are still open. People are walking their dogs. Somebody right next to me with a bunch of food they got from one of the vendors. People still, I mean, personally, I don't know about you guys, if you've ever done any little running or anything, running in the rain is the greatest. It's like a free cooler while you're sweating and, you know, and getting a workout and getting all hot and sweating. And so this is perfect weather to go exercise in. But all right, so we made it to Venice, drove through Santa Monica. What's on the list left? I believe LAX is next. Let's go take a look at some plane spotting, and then from there I'm going to decide if as long as there's people interested in the stream still, you know, I'll keep streaming. But if people get bored with it, and you know, I'll be on my way home. But had a little fun today driving around in the rain. It is kind of odd, you know, lots of rain in August. Usually we don't get a drop of rain in August or July or June. It's usually really dry here for the summer. But right now, it's pouring rain. So we're gonna go over to LAX. We're gonna go see how the airplanes are handling the storm. If they're struggling to land, or if it's just another day for the pilots. I guess it's another day for the pilots. But if you're just tuning in, yeah, this is the big scary hurricane that came to SoCal. Just produced lots of rain. I don't even see a lot of flooding. I just see, you know, pools of water here and there where drains are struggling to keep up, but no flooding. I've driven probably a good 200 plus miles now, and you know, including the Hollywood Hills and Pacific Palisades, and I haven't seen any mudslides. I haven't even seen a car accident. So warnings and alerts and stuff. But you know what? Actually, I need to make a left because we're coming into a little bit of an island where we got to make our way out. There's a marina on our left, and now in front of us, and the beach behind us. So we have to go another left to get out of this little island area. Here's some of the famous Venice canals, so share the road, my friend, share the road. Alright. So I think what we're going to do is head over to LAX. A little drive around there, see what's going on. I'll show you guys where I found out where all the Uber and Lyft drivers hang out. They hang out in a big lot. And at any given point, 24 hours a day, there's anywhere between 300 and 500 cars there waiting for pickups at the airport. And they all hang out in one lot. So I'll go show you that. And then we'll go to South Central. It's getting dark. It's getting scary. We'll go fight for our lives in South Central. And then I'll see where we're at with the stream and maybe end it there. But yeah, if you are just tuning in, the previous stream unfortunately did crash after 6.5 hours. GoPro said, that's all you get. You only get 6.5 hours of streaming, and they cut me off. So I had to restart the GoPro and start the stream up on this new one. So we're in Marina del Rey at the moment. We're very close to LAX. Let's see. About 4.5 miles from LAX. So let's go check out the airport. Let's go see how crazy it is for the planes right now, landing in this mess. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Hurricane Hilary. Moderate rainstorm. See a lot of these RVs on the side of the road. These are actually homeless RVs. Sometime, a while ago, the homeless found out that, hey, they can buy really cheap used RVs and park them on city streets, and that's where they live. And unfortunately, in neighborhoods where these things are, they're a major nuisance. For a while, a lot of them were next to the there's some wetlands that are pretty close to here called the Bologna wetlands, and they were setting them up all along the wetlands. And homeless people have to defecate and urinate too, so they were dumping their waste right there in the wetlands for a while. Recently, the city finally did something about it after years of complaints from environmental groups and other people. But yeah, wherever you drive, you see a lot of homeless, you see a lot of RVs, you know, older RVs parked on the streets. It's just basically a big homeless encampment. So here's Lincoln. We're gonna make a right here and head over towards LAX. We're about 4.5 miles away now. Actually, I think what I'll do, I'll go take a drive through the terminal, see how busy it is. Because when I was first hearing about this tropical storm slash hurricane slash apocalypse now, you know, I thought all the flights were going to be canceled about crazy. It was wind 70 miles per hour. Airplanes cannot land, and not safely, in 70 mile per hour wind. So I thought there was no way. But, you know, it's been pretty, at the most I've seen today is a steady breeze. And that was near the beach. So, I mean, look at the brush to the right now. It's just dead still. Nothing's moving around. It's yeah, there's no wind situation going on here. I mean, even I was on my roof last night and nailing things down, making sure the roofing tile and everything was secure in case it started pouring rain, but there was no need. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if the storm pooped out before I got here, or if the worst is yet to come. I mean, the eye hasn't gotten to us yet. It's still in Baja California, or what's left of it. It's a tropical storm.
So if this was going through Florida, you may not even talk about it.
No, I mean, honestly, we don't even go to the grocery store for anything less than a 2.
That is great, dude. I love that. I love that you came on and schooled us like that. That's what we needed right now. All right, that's one.
But this is a unique circumstance.
I get it.
Alive essentially has had this happen.
Well, you know what Blake Trolley was talking about is that we've never had a tropical storm, or even before that, a hurricane come through an area with so many mountains. We didn't know how it was going to behave.
Right, and I think we're still a little confused about exactly what's going to happen here. Look, as soon as when we saw the winds come dying down, we knew this was not a Katrina or an Andrew. The rooftops aren't going to come flying off, but this does pose a lot of unknown risks with all the water, the standing water in particular. And thank goodness this happened on a Sunday.
Sure.
That's probably the greatest thing going forward.
Well, let me ask you another question, and I think I know the answer, but I'd like for you to be honest, like you have been throughout the last 2 minutes, Rory. A tropical storm does or does not close the schools in the state?
Ooh, well, we don't do statewide. We're done county by county.
How about county?
May or may not.
Okay, all right. Okay.
It's not. I wouldn't say blanket, no.
I get it.
I think you and I are roughly the same age-ish.
Okay. Right.
But,
Well, if I'm not mistaken, LAUSD closed schools tomorrow, didn't they?
I grew up in New
For
England.
this
We went to
catastrophic
school to the snow and all that stuff. These days, 2 flurries and everyone's canceling everything.
Buddy, you're preaching to the choir. I mean, when I was a kid, and I'll just take 30 seconds here to tell the story that's not, related to this storm. But when I was a kid, one of my favorite things to do is go to Hollywood Park or Santa Anita in a storm like this, and they ran a full card, 9 races. 9 races. Now they're closed. I have nothing to do anyway. Because Robin said, hey, do you want to come in on Sunday? So let me check. Track closed? I can be there.
Santa Anita closed today.
The lawyers got involved.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So
Everybody
will you
closed
see this
today.
thing in like the next couple hours? Are you seeing anything that,
Who
that we're
didn't
missing
close
here?
today? The Aquarium of the Pacific.
No, I mean, what's remarkable.
It's kinda
is
hard to
that
drown the
track
fish,
of
I guess.
Storm is, I've never seen a narrower, what they call the cone of uncertainty. Like, this thing is right in a straight line. They are not calling for this to suddenly go east or west. So it is just going to stay on this line. It took a fortunate path where it is east of LA. So obviously, you know the geography better than I. But what you don't want is that storm to come whipping in at the wrong spot with that counterclockwise motion and shutting up a whole bunch of storm surge into San Diego or LA. So luckily, it took this path to Baja, took the brunt of that storm surge. So again, but if they were off on the forecast, which has happened, things could have been a whole lot worse. But the winds are dying down. As I said, we're not going to see a whole lot of homes knocked down by this, but rock slides, mudslides, all this rain in the mountains, and again, all this rain by Southern California terms,
it's a lot.
It is remarkable. I mean, here we get 3 inches of rain every afternoon in Florida.
Right.
So it's like, well, whatever.
But Roy O'Neill's with us, national iHeart correspondent. I'm sure you've seen this, though. Once this storm, comes and passes through Southern California, they projected to go all the way up to Wyoming and Utah with a tremendous amount of rain. This storm isn't over once it leaves Southern California.
No, but obviously the focus is there because that's where so many of the people are. But as this moves up towards Idaho, and we still have flash flood watches in effect up to Idaho from this.
That's wild, man.
Remarkable. Yeah. That speaks to the fast forward motion. Normally these storms come about 12 to 15 miles per hour. This is going, I think the latest update said 23 miles an hour.
Is that fast for a hurricane or a tropical storm?
Yeah, I mean, not unheard of, but it's certainly on the higher end of the scale. So that's pretty remarkable how fast this is going. And the fast forward motion is good. It means it won't be over you longer, so the rain will come and go faster.
Right. But I will say this, though. It makes sense that storm is moving quickly because in Southern California, we get very bored of crap real quickly.
Well, our concern now is we have this now. I'm hoping all the best for California.
Sure.
But have you seen the Atlantic Ocean and what's happening now? We've got this train car coming with about 4 storms that are all on the way. Now, it looks like none of them will hit me, which is the important thing. 2, it looks like we'll avoid all of Florida and the eastern seaboard. But we are just seeing really now how the Atlantic Ocean is setting up for the busy part of the hurricane season.
Excellent. But I really appreciate you coming on. We'll talk to you again during the next hurricane.
All right, well, let's look at 89 years from now, whatever it may be.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, there he goes. That guy is great, man. Rory O'Neill, the iHeart national correspondent. Got some information in here. The earthquake up in Ventura, in Ojai, they have not seen an earthquake on that fault in 89 years. Does that sound familiar? We haven't seen a hurricane.
Whew.
89 years ago, we had a hurricane come through Southern California. I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're related. How is that possible? That both of them happened 89 years ago. I don't know what the odds are. Probably the same odds of a hurricane named Hilary and the first street it closes in Palm Springs is named Clinton. What are the odds of that? Oh man, I'd love to have made some money in Vegas on this storm. I would have cleaned up. All right, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna come back and talk more about Palm
Holy
Springs.
smokes! You know what's odd about LAX right now? We're at LAX. Planes are landing eastbound. Planes very rarely, unless it's the middle of the night, like 2 a.m. Planes do not land eastbound at LAX. They always land westbound. They take off westbound. We got planes going, taking off from the east here.
What's open, what's closed, where the storm's going, and all the aftershocks. I think they said there's been 25 aftershocks up in the Ojai area after our 5.0 or 5.1 earthquake that happened at 2:41.
So here's LAX.
Crazy day, right?
Planes are still taking off here.
Go to the talkback button on your app, on iHeartRadio app.
Planes can't safely take off in
right before 7 o'clock. We're live
70
on
mile per hour
KFI
winds. So.
More with Sandy Wells in the storm. What's going on out there, Bob?
Here's the latest on Tropical Storm Hilary headed towards Southern California. And the earthquake, Tropical Storm Hilary, has been delivering more rain and with increasing intensity. Heavier downpours are in the forecast for this evening. Flash flood warning remains in effect till 7:45. And LAUSD will be closed tomorrow. No classes, no after-school programs due to Tropical Storm Hilary. SoCal was shaken by a magnitude 5.1. That was at 2:41 this afternoon, centered near the town of Ojai, about 4 miles away. No reports of injuries or major damage. Southern California weather from KFI. Rain may be heavy at times this evening as Tropical Storm Hilary continues to move north. Winds will be 30 to 55 miles per hour. Low temperatures overnight around 70. This report brought to you by Dell Technologies.
That's what I hear. I keep hearing high winds, 50 miles, 60 miles, 70 miles sometimes. And no, we're not getting those kind of winds anywhere. Nowhere I've driven, and I've driven about 220 miles so far around Southern California.
Hey y'all, it's Riley Green. Someone over Gildan heard that I wear their t-shirts and boxer briefs, and honestly, if I believe
here's LAX. We're passing by the Delta terminals right now. Up ahead is Tom Bradley International Terminal, so that's where all the international, most of the international flights will take off from. Whether you're going to Tokyo or you're coming in from London, that's probably where you'll be.
How is Tidy Cat's Breeze upping the litter game? By providing odor control with simple cleanup. Liquid goes to the bottom and solid waste stays on top for easy scooping. Switch the Breeze pads weekly, Breeze pellets monthly, and you're good to go. Discover the ease of Breeze today. Being a human is hard, especially if you're a woman who's having trouble doing that totally normal thing.
Oh, did they? Yeah, maybe out towards
pooping. Thankfully, Garden of Life's doctor-formulated
I guess the Arizona,
50 billion probiotics to help
California border, maybe.
Human. Garden of Life, available now on Amazon.
Because I was driving through the desert about 10:30 to 11:30 this morning, driving around, and same situation, no winds. So that's the high desert. To be fair, the low desert, maybe they were having more. I know Imperial County did have possible, low tornado threat, is what they were calling it. So I guess that's certainly possible.
New and improved Shell V-Power Nitro Plus removes up to 100% of performance-dropping deposits to rejuvenate your engine's performance. With continuous use, gasoline direct injection.
Here's LAX. Let's see, our next stop's going to be...
You're going to love this house.
Let me show you where all the rideshare drivers hang out. They got their own parking lot. And
USA homeowners insurance can help protect it the right way.
And basically, they all hang out there in big groups. Between 400 to 600 cars are in there at any point in time, 24 hours a day, waiting for rides, requests. And how the rideshare works is they basically, once you start your, once you go online as a rideshare driver, you enter the queue. When you enter the little space that they've designated for waiting, That way rideshare drivers aren't waiting at the terminal here.
You know when you start up a motorcycle and you hear it go, boom, when it takes off. I was losing that.
Really? I didn't know that, Dave. That's actually pretty incredible.
Nature about 1.5 years ago. Noticed the results immediately, and I went, oh my gosh, this works. This is what I've been missing all my life.
I didn't know they were always stronger to the east. Oh, nuts. What did I do? I accidentally went back to the same...
Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35%
Actually, I went back
off
to
your
the
first preferred
departures
order
level.
with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751.
Sorry, we'll make one more loop here. Come down.
Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 to get this special offer by using discount code KFI.
Are you looking to sell your home quickly and easily without having to deal with repairs or the worry of buyers qualifying for new high-interest rate loans? Call Sellers Advantage. With thousands of satisfied customers, they are the go-to choice for homeowners looking to sell their homes fast. They will buy your home for a competitive cash offer, and they can close in just days, not weeks or months. No repairs are needed because they buy homes as is. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and with the most 5-star reviews on Google and Yelp. It's no wonder why thousands of sellers have chosen Sellers Advantage. Sellers Advantage is the fastest and most stress-free way to sell your home. If you're ready to sell your home, you call Sellers Advantage. Get a no-obligation offer at 888-321-AS-IS. 888-321-AS-IS. 888-321-2747. SellersAdvantage.com. DRE number 01961658.
Why should you choose Sweet James if you're hurt in a car, motorcycle, or trucking accident?
Hey, it's Gary and Shannon, and you choose Sweet James because results matter.
Here are some of the settlements won for injured victims by those attorneys at Sweet James.
$700,000 won for a wrongful death accident.
How about $350,000 for a client hurt in a golf cart accident?
$1.55 million won for a client hurt in an auto accident.
Sweet James wins for clients hurt in these types of cases 98% of the time.
They settle more money in 1 year than most firms settle in their lifetime.
So, if you are hurt in an accident, no matter what kind...
So I don't know how many cancellations the airports had today, but...
Hey, nothing until they win.
LAX is definitely way less busy than it usually is, I'll say that much.
And successful
so there must have been quite a few cancellations, but airplanes are definitely taking off here, no issues. The only odd thing about the airplanes landing and taking off here at LAX is they're landing and taking off eastbound. Just based off the winds coming off the oceans, airplanes almost always, well, basically airplanes always land into the wind. So, given that fact, they always land and take off westbound here.
Hey Angela, you been over to the
But
place yet for a barbecue?
today they're taking off east.
Last weekend. I love their new outdoor kitchen and that new paper.
So the wind is blowing from the east in some way towards the west here at LAX.
Never go inside. We loved it so much for having System Papers put in a new patio and fire pit. Nice.
Let's see, I want to get over to Blvd.
Something to talk about. Visit SystemPapers.com or call 800-PAVE-004. Act now to get up to $3 off every square foot of pavers and turf and save big. That's 800-PAVE-004 or SystemPavers.com. All orders must be placed by August 31st. See website for offer details. Contractor's license 661575.
Americans pay about $5 billion a year to control termites and repair the damage.
So in about 1.3 miles, we'll be going to the LAX Rideshare lot. I'm going to show you. When you fly into LAX, where do your Uber drivers come from? Where do your Lyft drivers come from?
800 Pacific. Visit PacificCoastTermite.com.
Are they just hanging around the terminal? Or are they out in the city and they get an alert? Well, they actually have a big parking lot, an agreement between the rideshare companies and the airport management. And they hang out in a big lot designated by the airport, owned by the airport. And and they'll basically once the rideshare rider or driver enters that lot, Lyft and Uber automatically know you're there, and they basically put you in a big queue, and that queue comes down slowly but surely, and eventually you're number one and you get the next ride.
7 p.m. on a Sunday because of the storm and the earthquake. And there are a lot of cancellations. Major airlines, including United American, Southwest, and JetBlue, have warnings posted on their websites. I just checked all of them out.
Really?
That the storm could impact up to 9 airports in California, including Los Angeles International, San Diego, along with Las Vegas, as the storm makes its way north. At least 198 flights into San Diego International Airport were scheduled for Sunday, and 52 scheduled for Monday. So you got to check to see if those are arriving or not. The numbers were smaller at LAX. 31 canceled for Sunday, 5 more for Monday.
That's it?
And then Hollywood Burbank Airport had 82
only 31 flights were canceled
and
at LAX.
32 Monday flights already shut down.
You guys know how many flights
at
come
John
to
Wayne
LAX
Airport
on
in
a
Orange
daily
County,
basis?
69 flights were canceled on Sunday and 23 on Monday.
Those are really small numbers.
Lots to get into, but the big news here in LA is that, and the one that will affect the most amount of people here, is LAUSD, Los Angeles Unified School District, closed tomorrow. They made that judgment fairly early on, and there's going to be some people scrambling right now to get caretakers or to get somebody to watch the kids while you have to go off to work. So it's going to be a busy night. It's going to be raining. You're going to be making calls and trying to figure out what you're going to do with the kids tomorrow. I know. And I hear it in your voice. You're pissed, right? Because a lot of people up here in the valley and west of downtown Los Angeles are not quite impacted like the people in Palm Springs. And a lot of people are thinking maybe they made that call too early. Well, we'll see. But I will say that LAUSD, they had a pretty good point that a lot of the people work at the schools and on campus, custodians, teachers, faculty, that they don't live near the school that they serve. And so getting there tomorrow might be very, very tough. Plus, there are a lot of people that show up at 4:30 a.m. to get those buses rolling to pick those kids up. And they can't possibly go through and inspect every school to make sure it's safe for the kids. So I do understand it. I hope you also try to understand it. All right, we do have some talkbacks to get to. We've got about 10 of them. We've picked out the 2 best, or 1 best, I guess.
All right, we're just east of
go to the app, go to iHeartRadio, get the app.
Los Angeles International Airport. So let me show you the little secret spot back here. This is the rideshare driver waiting lot. Everybody in this lot is a rideshare driver waiting to pick you up at LAX.
A portion of the app. Let's see what they have to say. They talk with this guy.
Hey, Tim, I'm in Camarillo, and I do that early warning.
Oh man, I am watching these airplanes take off though. I don't know if you can see that one that just took off, but it's definitely kind of the pilot's making corrections side to side.
The earthquake hit.
So there's definitely some manual flying going on here, and probably a pretty bumpy ride because there's no wind down here, but I'm sure up above that storm is brewing and moving. And
but I got it 20 seconds after.
So normally this lot is constant. This lot is so full usually that drivers will actually like park like right here where I'm at right now. They'll just park right here, and because there's nowhere else to park, and block other drivers. A lot of honking in this lot, a lot of trash, a lot of but this is the rideshare lot. These are all Uber and Lyft drivers waiting to come get you at the airport when you land at LAX. And every airport, at least in Southern California, every airport has a rideshare driver's lot. Ontario, Burbank, Long Beach, San Diego, Santa Ana. They have a designated area where the drivers work. Santa Ana technically doesn't have a lot. It just has a designated area where you'd wait.
Stop!
So, here we are.
Palm Springs has got a lot of rain. You gotta take a break? All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about Palm Springs. They're gonna need a lot of attention. I don't know how much damage has been done there, but tons of street closures. Ton. They've had hundreds of millions of gallons, if not billions of gallons of water dropped on them. So let's be prepared for Palm Springs to need a lot of help. If you own a place down there, maybe you work in Palm Springs.
So I keep hearing Palm Springs.
Gotta call
Palm
before you
Springs
go to work
has
tomorrow.
had quite a day.
It is going to be a different day. Lot of water in Palm Springs. All right, we're live on KFI AM 640. It's Ronder's now in the newsroom. Mark Ronder, what's going on, bud?
Heavy rains and high winds are hitting several parts of SoCal as Tropical Storm Hilary makes landfall. AccuWeather's Jake Soja tells KFI's Steve Gregory the next several hours will be the worst of the storm.
The rain actually can become heavier over a more widespread area as it interacts even with any land, whether it's flat or mountainous, but just the mountainous terrain that we have, that really enhances the rainfall.
LADWP has reported thousands of outages because of the storm. The National Weather Service says LA is expected to experience the peak of the storm's rainfall until 9 o'clock. The LA School District has canceled classes tomorrow because of Tropical Storm Hilary. Superintendent Carvalho says there will be no after-school activities either.
The peak of this storm will take place in the middle of the night, depriving us of our ability to inspect schools or determine access to schools to be safe.
Carvalho says charter schools will likely be closed too. He says all classes are expected to resume Tuesday. Officials say teachers will also be uploading lesson plans online this week, so students who can't get to class can still learn. Tropical Storm Hilary's made landfall in Southern California. Despite warnings from officials, people are still going outside. LA County Fire Chief Anthony Maroney tells KFI Steve Gregory it's the biggest mistake people can make.
Stay out of floodwaters. Stay out of moving water. Don't even try to cross moving water when you're in a vehicle.
I think everybody knows to stay out of the water when it's flowing and flooding and
fire
everything
officials
else.
are monitoring the storm as well as the 5.0 earthquake near Ojai this afternoon.
My complaint
Flash flood warnings have been issued in San Bernardino, Kern, San
they
Diego,
overhyped
LA,
this
and
quite a
Ventura
bit.
counties. An ocean water quality rain advisory has been declared for all LA
And
County beaches.
if the government and the media keep doing that, people are going to stop believing them when a real situation happens. What if a real hurricane was actually going to come down here?
Hilary hits SoCal.
Magic Mountain, Hurricane Harbor, Knott's Berry Farm, and Knott's Soak City are among the amusement parks closed today because of Tropical Storm Hilary.
Disneyland
However,
was open.
Disneyland, California Adventure, Universal Studios, and Universal City Walk are still open. But park officials say they are closely monitoring events and will announce if there are any changes. Cyclavia Koreatown meets Hollywood has also been canceled, along with the City of Manhattan Beach Sunday concerts in the park. Jane Yamamoto, KFI News.
Let's check out some trouble on the 10.
And we're only hitting the tip of the iceberg with this flooding on the 10 eastbound Pacific Avenue in West Covina. It's a lot of flooding on the Almond ramp. And then some mudslide flooding on the 10 west of the 57 in Pomona is on the connector road. In Linwood, a spin-out crash on the 105 east of Long Beach Boulevard has got the carpool left lane blocked.
It's a southwest landing, or arriving, I should say. Just landed.
That's a crash at the center divider. And then Riverside on the 91 west before Madison Street, a crash moving right shoulder with one of the vehicles facing the wrong way. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Zachary David.
All right.
Being human is hard, especially if you're a woman who's having.
All right, guys. I think
all humans do with
I've been driving here today, sharing the catastrophic storm of the century for a good 7.5 hours now.
Available now on Amazon.
Almost a full work day's 8-hour work shift. So I think what I'm going to start to do is start to make my way towards my house. Way up in the mountains. A good hour and a half away still. So as long as there's still interest on the channel and people want to watch what's going on here in Southern California with the this catastrophic, murderous, evil Hillary Clinton storm that's destroying Southern California. Not really, as you can see from the previous live stream, and this one was just a rainstorm pretty much. But I'll keep streaming. But I've done quite a bit, had it racked up enough miles on my Tesla driving around today, and I came out even for posterity purposes to record this historic storm. Let it be shown in history classes in the future. The great storm that nearly destroyed Southern California. And it was pretty much a nothing burger. As you can see, speeding Yes, it's odd. It's August, right? We don't get rain in August, much less 8 inches of rain. So that, yeah, that's pretty nuts. But that's about as nuts as it gets. As it rained in August, we don't usually get rain. Supposed to be getting 60, 70 mile per hour winds. Didn't get any of that. Supposed to get constant, nothing but constant heavy rain for hours and hours, and even a day on end. And didn't get that. Got a lot of sprinkles and some light to moderate rain. Occasionally, I did see some heavy rain here and there, but for the most part, this is what it was like, just like this. Moderate rain, and didn't hear about any landslide. I've been driving around for almost 8 hours, like I said. Didn't see any landslides. I drove around a lot of the hill areas. Didn't see any. I didn't even see any crashes. That surprised me. I could have sworn I was going to see some collisions or crashes or something, but nope, didn't see any of that. Got my car a nice car wash, though. So there's that. But yeah, at this point, I'll start making my way home as it gets darker. I think we're going to skip Long Beach. If it would have been an incredible intense storm, I would have probably kept going. But, I mean, right here it's raining pretty good. I would say this is probably heavy rain. This is one of those little moments where we're getting a little bit of heavy rain, but it'll die down again. It'll be just moderate or light rain. Especially the last live stream. Those of you just tuning in. Last live stream, it cut off after about 6.5 hours and stopped. So this is the second live stream. Had a lot of people chatting and talking about it, asking questions, and answering the best I could. But in this case, rather than the last live stream, we went to Wrightwood, we explored the high desert, did Cajon Pass, went to San Bernardino, went over to down the 10 freeway, went to downtown LA, Skid Row, went down Wilshire Boulevard, we did Hollywood Walk of Fame, went up to the Hollywood Hills, came back down, Sunset to Palisades, PCH, to Santa Monica, Little Roger State Beach, Venice, went to LAX where we just were. Now we're on our way back home to the mountains where I live. 105 southbound, headed towards Norwalk.
What it means, why it matters.
Flooding, the whole, and oh man, the east of the storm is getting much harder than we are here on the west side. So everything east of perhaps Los Angeles is really taking it. We're talking Riverside, San Bernardino, obviously Palm Springs, the desert community. Baker on the way to Vegas, Las Vegas is going to get this storm as well. And so you might see a lot of flooding coming out of Vegas. But let's find out what's going on in Palm Springs. Because Palm Springs, man, oh man, they are just getting walloped by this storm. Absolutely walloped. So this is Palm Springs, and we'll find out how much water and a lot of street closures as well for Palm Springs.
We were just back there a bit ago taking a look at how things are now. The water has drained out. They were busy trying to clean out the hallways, dry things out, get sandbags in to prevent that from happening again, because we are getting more heavy rain. Things have kind of picked back up here in Rancho Mirage.
Oh, boy.
Also noticing the winds. I was kind of keeping an eye on some of the wind gusts here. Got a couple wind gusts above 25 miles an hour, so that's a big departure from what we had earlier when we had a lot of rain but not a lot of wind. Now we're getting both.
Yeah, they're getting both there now. It's a big deal. All right, Santa Clarita. Santa Clarita got a lot of rain, and while they're getting a lot of rain, they got hit pretty hard with that earthquake. That earthquake centered up in Ojai, California, up north of Ventura, south of Santa Barbara, Carpinteria area inland. You know the area. Maybe no. Who knows? But they got it pretty bad up in Ojai. And then there was some obviously a part of the fault that moved there in Ojai affected Santa Clarita in a big way, because people live up there. People I know that live up there and work up there, they said it was like a freight train coming through their home. A freight train. Let's find out what's going on.
You can see it coming through at a fast pace. Dark, muddy water, bringing some rocks with it. And this has been pretty muddy all day. The video that you were showing at the top, and we're going to show it to you again, became a problem for some of the people who live in this area. They were concerned that it might actually enter into their homes, and so they reached out for some help. Now, all of the neighbors jumped in to try to make sure that the water was diverted away from their property, and they were successful in doing that.
You know, the one saving grace and the silver lining up in the Santa Clarita area is every other household, maybe every third household, is either a cop, a doctor or a nurse, doctor, or a fireman. And so there's a hell of a lot of experience in dealing with emergencies in the Santa Clarita area. Everybody is in on it. Everybody works in law enforcement, or perhaps in the fireman's world, or EMT.
So the video just shows you an example of how that water, which is being pushed by this very powerful tropical storm, the impact that it can have, whether you live in a residential section where we are right now.
And listen to it come down there in Santa Clarita. Oh boy.
By the ocean, it's just the amount of water that's coming in, the ferocity with which it's falling because of this tropical storm that we're experiencing.
Yeah, unbelievable. All right, a talkback. People like talkbacks.
Hey Tim, Jeff Myers from Murrieta, California, listening to
Jeff. How you doing?
KFI while traveling westbound on I-10 in the Palm Springs area. Got a real life story about the Southwest Airlines flight cancellations. We were due to fly from Boston to San Diego this morning. Flight got canceled yesterday. Couldn't get to any SoCal cities. Ended up flying to Phoenix.
Oh, boy.
Landed there this afternoon at 2. Rented a car. Now we're driving 2.5 hours to get home today. Ding dong.
Yeah. Lucky.
Hey.
That storm out.
Hey, Conway. Hey, you're here today.
Up to 5 into Sacramento, so enjoying himself. You want to hit that talk back button? It's a real popular tool of listeners. You download the iHeartRadio app, click on the talk back button, and then we get that audio immediately. The cleaner, more, we will play it on the. All right, so let's not fill it up with the F word. I mean, you can if you want, but can't play it on the. All right, it's Conway Show. We're live here until 7. Chris Merrill's coming in at 7. Let's go find out what else is going on out in the world where earthquakes and floods and hurricanes. Unusual Sunday. All right, Mark, what's going on out there, bub?
Here's the latest on Tropical Storm Hilary in Southern California. Hilary has been delivering rain. Heavier downpours are in the forecast for this evening, and a flash flood warning still in effect. The LA City Fire says a car has been found in a flood channel rescued from the water. The rain has also caused a roof to collapse, and 5,000 DWP customers are without power. LAUSD will be closed tomorrow. School Superintendent Alberto Carvalho says charter schools in the LA district will most likely be closed as well, but he says parents should check with their school. We'll look at a spot of trouble on the 405 when we come back.
Hey y'all, it's Riley Green. I could talk about country music, sports, or farm all along, but I can't ever make talking much. Someone over Gildan heard that I wear their t-shirts and boxer briefs, and honestly, if I believe in a brand, I'm all for it. Whether I'm on tour, on the family farm, or working out, I want to feel comfortable. That's the common thread. I want underwear, socks, and t-shirts that fit and feel favorite. Visit Amazon.
Held back, inhibited. What doubt depends on what you put in. Rejuvenate your engine with Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline, because true performance knows no bounds. New and improved Shell V-Power Nitro Plus removes up to 100% of performance-robbing deposits to rejuvenate your engine's performance. With continuous use in gasoline direct injection engine fuel injectors.
The Dell Technologies back-to-school event is on, with deals on top tech for class, hobbies, and more. Now when you buy, you support a cause. With every eligible purchase, Dell will donate to UNICEF in support of GIGA, a UNICEF ITU global initiative to connect schools across the globe to the internet. Accidental damage protection included. Get rare deals on select laptops and desktops powered by the latest Intel Core processors. Save now at Dell.com/deals. UNICEF does not endorse any company, brand, product, or service.
How is Tidy Cat's Freeze upping the litter game? With smart, simple designs. Anti-tracking and dehydrating pellets with super absorbent pads provide outstanding odor control with simple cleanup. So liquid goes to the bottom and solid waste stays on top for easy scooping. Switch the Breeze pads weekly, the pellets monthly, and you're good to go. It's how Tidy's most reviewed product keeps litter as simple as it should be. So simplify your litter routine and discover the ease of Breeze today.
Being a human is hard. Especially if you're a woman who's having trouble doing that totally normal thing all humans do but not all of us like to talk about. You know, pooping. Thankfully, Garden of Life's doctor-formulated women's probiotics to help you be a more regular human. Garden of Life, available now on Amazon. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Bosch tools are built for workers. Bosch's powerful hammer drill has kickback control to help work go more smoothly when you need it. The 2-in-1 impact driver and wrench quickly changes between bits and sockets, so you only need one tool instead of two. And the X-Lock grinder switches wheels up to 5 times faster than standard grinders. Bosch tools take care of the job and you. Bosch tools, what hard workers deserve.
So, Tanya, Ford hooked you up with a new ride?
Yes, I'm now proudly driving a new Bronco Sport.
Love that car. Congrats on your new baby Bronco.
The 2022 Bronco Sport may seem like a baby Bronco, but it does actually offer legitimate capability. This is an SUV that can handle your daily commute and weekend adventures. I drove it to Orange County back and forth twice, and I'm still going on that same tank.
Head to your Southern California Ford dealers for great offers on a Ford Bronco Sport. Inventory is arriving daily.
You know when you start up a motorcycle and you hear it go vroom, vroom, vroom when it takes off? I was losing that. I was losing my energy. I started using Balance of Nature about 1.5 years ago. Noticed the results immediately, and I went, oh, works. This is what I've been missing all my life. I missed my Vava Voom. I got it back.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code KFI.
A water softener softens water. The Life Source Whole House Water Filtration System, now that's highly filtered, delicious water coming out of every single faucet in your home. And now until August 31, Life Source is offering a Ditch the Softener rebate valued at up to $1,000 to upgrade to a Life Source water system. Call 800-803-2696. Visit lifesourcewater.com. That's lifesourcewater.com.
Are you looking to sell your home quickly and easily without having to deal with repairs or the worry of buyers qualifying for new high-interest rate loans? Call Sellers Advantage. With thousands of satisfied customers, they are the go-to choice for homeowners looking to sell their homes fast. They will buy your home for a competitive cash offer, and they can close in just days, not weeks or months. No repairs are needed because they buy homes as is. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and with the most 5-star reviews on Google and Yelp. It's no wonder why thousands of sellers have chosen Sellers Advantage. Sellers Advantage is the fastest and most stress-free way to sell your home. If you're ready to sell your home, you call Sellers Advantage. Get a no-obligation offer at 888-321-AS-IS. 888-321-AS-IS. 888-321-2747. SellersAdvantage.com. DRE number 01961658.
Student is charged with the crimes, but were these his only victims? Join the producers of the Piketon Massacre to explore all sides of this shocking crime.
Like so many people, this case hit us particularly because of the sheer magnitude of violence and tragedy.
Listen to the Idaho Massacre on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Each week, at least one child dies from heat stroke after being left alone in a car. Often, these incidents are not a matter of neglect, but even the most responsible, loving parents are liable to forget a child in the car due to sleep deprivation, stress, or a change in routine, which can lead to fatal results. As temperatures continue to soar, take steps to ensure a child is never forgotten in a hot car. Download the Cars for Kids Safety app today at carsforkids.org/safety app. Remember, that's cars with a K. KFI.
Song. That's kind of cool. All right, we're wrapping it up here. It's still, they said, though, don't let your guard down. All right, they're expecting big rains for another 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, west of Los Angeles, and then God only knows what happens east of LA. They can't really get a good grip of what's going on here because for a hurricane, then sliding into a tropical storm to hit a mountainous area like Southern California, it was anybody's, guess of where it's going to go and what it's going to do. They knew that the east side of the eye of that hurricane and tracking Hilary was going to be big, though. And they were right. They were right. The Inland Empire, Palm Springs, Riverside, San Bernardino, the desert. Santa Clarita even got it hard.
Well, it's the first accident I've seen.
The desert, please be careful. Please be careful. It is, it's not worth trying to cross the street, you know, just get home 5 minutes earlier. It just isn't. But anyway, so stay on KFI. We're going to have updates, and Chris is going to be on live. Chris Merrill's going to be on live till at least 10 o'clock. And so that's going to be fantastic. A lot of flights canceled. Make sure you call the airport or your airline or go to the website to see if your flight's been canceled. Remember, stay safe, stay home, and stay informed. We can keep you informed. We can sort of keep you safe and tell you what's going on out there. But it's up to you to keep yourself at home. Chris Adler from Manhattan Beach, thank you. Also the parks and the beaches and the campgrounds that are closed. Disneyland's open till 10. California Adventure till 9 p.m. And then we have Corbin Carson. He called in. That was great at Sunset Beach. Blake Trolley from the Inland Empire. Covered everything. Paul Diano from CBS and KCAL with the weather report. He was great. Gavin Newsom's in town, the governor. He's here in Los Angeles, making sure everybody's cool. Karen Beatty from Ventura with the quake that hasn't happened in that area in 90 years. And last time we had a hurricane, 90 years ago. Coincidence, right? Don Wagner, thanks for calling up, Orange County Supervisor. Schools are open in Orange County. LAUSD are closed. LAUSD. Emily, Bethany, Raul. Raul? That was Ed. No? Sorry, Raul on the board. I screwed that. All right, Rory O'Neill as well, the iHeart reporter. Jacob was in here, and Sandy Wells and Mark Ronner as well. But man, oh man, what a day. What a day. First of all, nobody knew what to expect, right? When you got up this morning, you didn't know whether, you know, rain and wind, thunder and lightning was going to wipe you out. We've never experienced this before. It was 89 years ago that we all had a hurricane run through the area. And nobody remembers that. You'd have to be at least 95 to remember that. And when you're 95, chances are the earlier years aren't still with you real strong. So we didn't know what to do.
Do good, Robert. Head home.
Nobody had
a little fun driving around.
Afraid, but everybody had that little fear.
Now it's time to head home.
That this was unprecedented. And all the news stations were on. And when all the news stations are on live all day, that makes you nervous. And you didn't know, and when you saw this weather coming in, you didn't know whether you were going to be flooded out, or your house was going to leak, or a road was going to get wiped out. You didn't know, because we never had this before. So we decided to come in and give you as much information as possible here on KFI. And we always do that. Whether it's a flood, a fire, an earthquake, a big plane crash, whatever it is. You know, you can always tune to KFI to get all of your information. And then right as we're all sort of nervous and we don't know what to do with this hurricane, and it's not a hurricane anymore, it's a tropical storm. We don't know what direction it's going in. We don't know where we hear a lot of rain, maybe not in our area. We hear some trees going down. The LA River is full, and then bang! At 2:41, we get hit by an earthquake, a 5.0 earthquake. And a lot of us got the notice, some a little late, right? Like me, about a half minute after I started shaking, they said, hey, there's an earthquake coming. And that freaked me out. I'm like, wait a minute, the one I just felt, or there's another bigger one coming? I don't know. But what a day.
Okay, we'll say the wind's picked up a little bit up here. Look how fast those clouds are moving. Those clouds are moving pretty fast over us.
They fear heavy rain rates could trigger mudslides. Communities evacuated include Forest Falls and northeast Yucaipa. San Bernardino County Supervisor Don Rouse says shelters have been set up for people ordered to leave their homes.
Redlands East Valley High School is one of them. We can take large animals, small animals in our shelters, and so we've made provisions for people to get out of what could be potential deadly flows.
Officials say they're also concerned about catastrophic flooding in the mountains. Flash flooding is also possible throughout the entire Inland Empire. In Redlands, Blake Trolley, KFI News.
A swift water rescue team with Cal OES has made its way to SoCal to help with storm-related water emergencies.
The team was deployed to Riverside, where weather trackers projected the storm would hit hardest, but the overall goal was to have them on hand for water rescues throughout the Southland. This Manhattan Beach local was walking the pier where surfers were asked to stay out of the water.
I was just, being a SoCal boy, I was going stir crazy. I was indoors for about 3 hours, and that was about as much as I could take.
16 firefighters who have special swift water training were sent down from the Bay Area yesterday. Lifeguards in LA County say they also have rescue boats at the ready. In Manhattan Beach, Chris Adler, KFI News.
Palm Springs has declared a local emergency due to critically dangerous impacts of Tropical Storm Hilary. The city says police and fire officials are continuing to urge people to stay at home. Roads have closed due to flooding at Dinah Shore, at the bridge from Palm Springs to Cathedral City, parts of Farrell Drive, North Indian Canyon Drive, Gene Autry Trail, and Vista Chino Drive. The Orange County Sheriff says as much as 1 inch of rain per hour is expected for the next several hours. Sheriff Don Barnes says people should stay home as first responders will be busy.
That's not an accident. That looks like a pursuit.
Riverbeds and flood control areas. The impacted areas
based on the number of officers that are on scene.
Flooding, as well as our 42 miles of coastline. So we are going to be very busy without the added risk of people traveling about the roadways unnecessarily. It says voluntary evacuations remain in place to remove potential mudslides from Odessa and Silverado canyons, which are
it is a little more windy, but nothing like
Orange County's activated its emergency operations center, fully staffed all fire stations, and deployed swift water rescue teams. The flash flood warning has been issued until 7:45 for almost all of LA County and Long Beach because of Hilary. This resident stopped by his local fire station to grab sandbags. He tells KTLA it doesn't hurt to be ready for anything.
Hopefully, it's not something we actually need, but I mean, it's free sand, it's here, there's free bags, so I mean, why not?
Why not? The National Weather Service in LA says residents can expect 2 to 4 inches of rain this evening. It says life-threatening flash flooding of creeks and streams are expected. Caltrans has reported some flooding on the westbound 118 at Tampa Avenue. The department says roadway flooding is expected in the Antelope Valley, Palmdale, Lancaster, and other areas in the region. It's asking drivers not to drive on flooded roads. And an earthquake has shaken parts of Southern California as Tropical Storm Hilary moves across SoCal. USGS says it was a 5.1 magnitude quake a few miles from Ojai. It was felt in LA, Riverside, and Ventura counties. Minor damage has been reported at convenience stores around SoCal. Let's look at a crash on the 57.
And Diamond Bar on the 57 North and Diamond Bar Boulevard that's crashing in the center lane with a vehicle facing the wrong way and traffic's heavy coming from Brandon Canyon Road. And Diamond Bar also on the 60 East of Phillips Ranch Road that's crashing in 2 left lanes. And then the carpool lane is affected on the 60 East of the 71 in Pomona. It's due to a crash just at the carpool lane. It's a weird night. And it's Santa Fe Springs 605 North of Telegraph Road. That's a school vehicle spin out taking up the 2 left lanes with a 15-minute traffic delay from Firestone. And then Anaheim Hills 91 East after the 55, a crash blocking the 2 middle lanes involving a jackknife big rigs at the clearing process. It's been there for quite a few hours. And Corona 91 East at the 15, that's a crash with 1 vehicle facing the wrong way near the right shoulder. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Zachary Tagan.
Sergeant and Mr. Smith, you're gonna love this house.
Bunk beds in a closet?
There's no field manual for finding the right home, but when you do, USAA Homeowners Insurance can help protect it the right way. Restrictions apply. The Dell Technologies Back to School event is on. With every eligible purchase, Dell will donate to UNICEF to help connect schools to the internet. Accidental damage protection included. Get deals on top tech powered by the latest Intel Core processors. Save now at Dell.com/deals.
Bosch tools are built for workers. Bosch's powerful hammer drill has kickback control to help work go more smoothly when you need it. The 2-in-1 impact driver and wrench quickly changes between bits and sockets, so you only need 1 tool instead of 2. And the X-Lock grinder switches wheels up to 5 times faster than standard grinders. Bosch tools take care of the job and you. Bosch tools, what hard workers deserve.
Ready to join T-Mark for a new way to challenge Bowser? Then start your engine. and bring your A game to the all-new Mario Kart ride at Super Nintendo World. Now open at Universal Studios.
Unfortunately, K9, I'm definitely decent at swimming.
Heavy rain from Hilary.
I also scuba dive, so I will survive. I will rebuild. LA strong, we will rebuild.
It's going to continue tomorrow with a chance of thunderstorms lowering in the afternoon, and we should be in the clear by tomorrow night. Right now it's 75 in Wrightwood Park, 74 in Cypress, 71 in Malibu, 65 in Lancaster, raining in all those places. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Mark Groner.
And I'm Chris Merrill, KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk. Pleasure to be with you. As Tim put it, what a day! What a day! Not only do we have this threat of this massive storm, right? And it looks like it's going to be a pretty good storm, a memorable storm, but probably not one necessarily for the history books. Although they will, there will be some history books because, we have this tropical storm warning across the entire Southland area. So, we're going to have some of that, some history with it. But as Tim put it, it could have been a lot worse. And I think that's, that's good. It's always prepare for the worst and hope for the best, right? So not too bad, unless you're in Palm Springs, Palm Desert, Imperial County got a bunch too. In fact, I was looking at one of the news reports, and I guess in the Imperial Valley to the east of San Diego County, they had it bad. In fact, we had one great listener hit us up here on the TalkBack. Feel free to use that TalkBack too. It's on the app, real easy to do on the iHeartRadio app. You just click that microphone in the station page, and then you record it. It comes right to us, and then Caleb will make sure you're not using any vulgarities or calling me names. And then if it's good, we'll play it on the air. So here's what this gentleman said, and I'm so glad he called in because it's really a vivid description of what is going on the 8.
Hi, I just thought I'd let your listeners know that the 8 in the mountains has been closed in both directions by some huge rock slides. They say the rocks are as big as semis.
Whoa!
They're going to have to use explosives to clean it up. If they're trying to get here or there via the 8, it's not going to happen. Thanks.
Not going to happen. Thank you. Appreciate that. When he said a huge rock slide, were you thinking huge rocks? Because I thought huge rock slide meant there was going to be a sizable volume of rocks. No, these are massive boulders that came down. And if you've driven through that area, and I traveled that a lot. I was working in San Diego and in Phoenix at the same time, and so I would occasionally do my show from Phoenix for both markets, and then I occasionally do my show from San Diego for both markets, so I traveled that a lot, and there are some big rocks up in those mountains. Are big rocks, and it sounds like they're making their way onto the road right now. And this goes back to what Mark was talking about, that we have to be careful of those burn-scarred areas, right? This is where the big concern really is. Now, we'll talk more about Palm Desert, Palm Springs, that area there in Riverside County, because they seem to be getting it a lot worse than what the people in Los Angeles County and even Ventura, of course, the earthquake, Santa Barbara, San Luis Obispo, getting it not quite as bad as what they're getting it to the east of the eye of that storm, which is headed over in that direction. So we'll talk more about that. But I was looking at some of these pictures. You got the local TV has got photos, and then every amateur journalist out there has got photos. And I'm watching some of these pictures of just the debris flow. All that crap that's built up in the river from probably stuff that was sort of left from the floods in the spring to now, all that crap is just washing down now. And it is, it is scary. It's just, it's scary. You don't want to be anywhere close to it. I've seen that stuff before, grew up in the Midwest, and so I've seen the flooding, I've seen that kind of stuff flow down before, and I know the damage it can do. That kind of debris flow will mount up and knock out bridges. It can be bad, so please stay off the road. Speaking of catching things online and staying off the road, so I'm looking at the Tropical Storm Hilary live tracker from the New York Times, and they've got photos that are from around the area, around Southern California, some from Mexico. They've got one in Palm Springs with people, the water goes up to the bottom of the doors in their cars. They have... happens overnight. So some of those things that could probably take place overnight, I'm going to guess the flooding, potential mudslides, or at least some loosening of some ground. There will be conversations about there not being school. There will be people angry about there not being school. Whatever.
Okay, last I heard, there is some flooding on the 10. So, looks like we may be going through that now.
I saw that LA River was trending on Twitter. And so, of course, I clicked on it because I wanted to see what was going on. And what pops up? Just a bunch of pictures of Tim Conway Jr. standing in front of the LA River with the phone behind, shown behind him. He's like, look at that! I thought Conway just got this whole thing trending. There are so many different topics around this right now that are trending on social media. Whether it's LA River, whether it's California, whether it's Tropical Storm Hilary, or if it's Hilary is a dud, or whatever the twist is on it, right? I just thought, there's one that's trending, and you can thank Tim Conway Jr. for that. All right, again, we have our talkback is available, so please engage in that. Love to hear what you are witnessing, what you're doing, if you're doing like you're supposed to, and that is stay safe, stay inside, stay informed. Good. Just tap the microphone button on the station page of your iHeartRadio app, record your message, and it'll come right into us. We'll have a gander at that. All right. If you're headed out, don't. But if you are, you may not want to go to these places. We'll talk about some of those places that are just not doing anything right now. And there are concerns still. We had a good winter. But there are concerns that drought conditions will persist. What does this do as far as postponing any future drought we might have here? We'll discuss that coming up here as well. And a little bit on the earthquake. It's a busy, as Tim put it, what a day. It's a busy program. I'm Chris Merrill, it's KFI AM 640. Live everywhere on your iHeartRadio app with that talkback button. And Mark Rodder has news.
Here's the latest on Tropical Storm Hilary in California. The California Highway Patrol's issued a SIG alert shutting down the transition from the westbound 10 freeway to the southbound 57 freeway in Pomona due to flooding. The San Diego Community College District has postponed Monday's scheduled first day of classes for some 50,000 students until Tuesday due to Hilary. And deadly floodwaters have inundated streets along the length of Mexico's arid Baja California, where Hilary came ashore today. We'll look at some trouble on the 5. That's coming up next.
Bosch tools are built for workers. Bosch's powerful hammer drill has kickback control to help work go more smoothly when you need it. The 2-in-1 impact driver and wrench quickly changes between bits and sockets, so you only need one tool instead of two. And the X-Lock grinder switches wheels up to 5 times faster than standard grinders. Bosch tools take care of the job and you. Bosch tools, what hard workers deserve.
Being a human is hard, especially for a woman who's having trouble doing that totally normal thing all humans do but not all of us like to talk about. Pooping. Thankfully, Garden of Life's doctor-formulated women's probiotics contain 50 billion probiotics to help you be a more regular human. Garden of Life, available now on Amazon. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
We know high-protein foods help support strong, healthy, and lean muscles for dogs. Dogs know they want the delicious meats they were born to love. That's why Blue Wilderness Dog Food has the wholesome nutrition, grains, and antioxidant-rich ingredients to help dogs thrive. Shop now for Blue Wilderness Dog Food on Amazon.
The Dell Technologies Back to School event is on. With every eligible purchase, Dell will donate to UNICEF to help connect schools to the internet. Accidental damage protection included. Get deals on top tech powered by the latest Intel Core processors. Save now at Dell.com/deals.
Slowed down, held back, inhibited. What you get out depends on what you put in. Rejuvenate your engine with Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. Because true performance knows no bounds. New and improved Shell V-Power Nitro Plus removes up to 100% of performance-robbing deposits to rejuvenate your engine's performance. With continuous use in gasoline direct injection engine fuel injectors.
Hey y'all, it's Riley Green. I could talk about country music, sports, or working on the farm all day long, but I can't say
knows no bounds.
Ooh-wee. Alright, let's charge up. And then I think I'm going to grab a bite to eat somewhere. Been on the road for about 8 hours. Let's see. Actually, almost 9 hours now. Been on the road. Good time to look into something to eat. At the moment, Cindy, I'm headed home now. I've been driving around SoCal for quite a while now. Went all over. Unfortunately, my last video was live streamed and it cut out about 6.5 hours in. So this is the second live stream. Not as exciting as the first, except it is a little more intense, more rain and everything. But what's going on, Tony? Might have supercharged. Let me charge the Tesla real quick and get back with you guys. Hold on. Plug in the supercharger. So anyways, yeah, I don't know, you know, we all saw the same news coverage. This was going to be the storm of the century, first tropical storm warning, 85 years. The news said it was basically the end times. So I said, hey, let's get out there and document it. Let's for posterity purposes, if for no other reason. So I headed out. Big dud for the most part, light rain. In fact, the rain we saw on the freeway 5 minutes ago, that was about the most intense that I've seen yet. So it may be intensifying the last parts of this evening. Maybe it's getting worse because it's definitely gotten windier. And I don't know, what I've heard is Palm Springs and Riverside County, the complete opposite direction I went, was the most intense. But I came to LA instead today. Went all over the place, downtown, San Bernardino. Went to the Hollywood Walk of Fame, drove around the Hollywood Hills, Skid Row, Beverly Hills, Sunset, the beaches, Venice, Santa Monica, Will Rogers State Beach, LAX. Kind of odd to see the planes taking off the other direction. They usually take off westbound. I've taken off and landing eastbound. But yeah, kind of interesting day. We'll say I was recording earlier just to document this whole little fun experience of driving around during a tropical storm warning. But for the most part, it's been like this. It's a little bit windier now, but it was very calm and just lots of rain, mostly moderate rain, and not as crazy as the news said it was going to be. As always, they overhyped it. Yeah, same. In the end, that's good news. It wasn't as bad as the news was going to make it out to be. They made it out to be like lives were going to be, you know, hundreds of lives are going to be lost, flash floods, winds 70 plus miles per hour, tornado warnings, and those were true. There was tornado warnings in east, southeast, central, San Diego County, and Imperial County, but I don't think there's any tornadoes actually hit. But yeah, I came out to see the craziness. They said stay home. I said, you know what? I think the news has cried wolf a little too many times. Let me go see for myself. And I documented the real thing, what it was really like, all over SoCal. Put a good, you know, I don't know, 250, 300 miles and about 9 hours of driving just to explore. So here we are, West Covina Supercharger, gonna charge up and then head home. In fact, probably the most exciting thing of the day happened in my hometown. I live up in the mountains, and there's a highway that crosses over a dry river creek, you know, for water runoff and everything else, like a storm like this. And it clogged up, and it went over the road, and now there's like a huge river over the road, even though there's supposed to be a huge ditch underneath it. You know, lots of boulders and rocks blocking, and now actually there's no way to get into my town right now except for a long way around through the forest, which I'm gonna have to take. But that's okay. I think I'm gonna do right after we charge up here is grab a bite to eat, and I don't know. I have kind of a rule I don't eat in the car in my Tesla, but I might break it today just so I can keep going. Get home. It's getting dark. I thought about headed out to Palm Springs. I guess Palm Springs and Riverside, like I said, they have the worst of it today. Yeah, I've heard. I don't know. I went the other way. I went to LA instead. But in any case, that's where we are in LA. You heard the news stories. You've heard you've seen the dramatic coverage, and this is all it was. So it was a rainstorm. Lots of granted, it's we don't get any rain in August. So to get like 8, 9, 10 inches of rain in August in one day is that alone is groundbreaking. But it was not the monster I hyped it up to be. The media basically they made it something. They made it something that it wasn't, so they could glue people to the TV screen and get you to watch their ads and make money. And all right, Cindy, no worries. Thanks for hanging out. I'll keep the stream going as long as people are interested. I think we'll I'll head up the Cajon Pass, and then I may cut it off once we get up higher on the Cajon Pass. That way, I don't want to exactly show the world where I live. So I hope that's okay. But we'll check out the Cajon Pass. Anybody that knows the Cajon Pass, it's a complete disaster anytime it rains, snows. Anytime anything happens, so well, don't feel bad, Cindy. I was I kind of wasted the day driving around. I'm kind of glad I did it still, but again, I was expecting something more out of the storm than, basically all we got was one day in Ireland, so it is what it is. It's all good. It was fun exploring SoCal in a tropical storm warning, but again, it was just a rainstorm. Good night, and hope all is well in Texas.
50% of performance robbing